Hello, welcome everyone. This is Patty Bennett. How are you all today? This is going to be so much fun. We are watercoloring with watercolor pencils on Abigail Rose paper today. I am live on Friday, July 22nd, 11 a.m. Pacific time, and I am a moment early. So I am going to just wait a moment because I know that all of you wonderful, faithful viewers who join me live are probably just finding me just now. So do me a favor and say hi. If you joined me last week, you know that there were some crazy issues with comments and whatnot. So I've just got some backup systems here. And guess what? So far, so good. I see comments. Hi, Shan and Mary and Donna, Cheryl, Jane, Ethel, Juanita, and 12 others, it says. So welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I hope you are going to learn something fun. I hope you get some value out of this. I hope that you will find it interesting and inspiring. I'm excited about this. I am just going to actually go ahead and start some coloring while we wait for all of our friends here to jump on. So you haven't missed anything. I'm just gonna doodle a bit here while everyone is joining in live. So if you have found me live on Facebook, please go ahead and say hello. And maybe you're watching a replay. That is fabulous as well. So I think the fact that I have two backups here is why the iPad's working today. Isn't that funny? I think that's why it's working. Or maybe Facebook just decided to kind of fix itself. Who knows? Who knows? But we are going to get into all the details about using the water painter, the watercolor pencils, and giving this beautiful Abigail Rose paper some color. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to make a card. And I have a card to show you, and I have some other things to show you, so I'm just super excited. Well, hello, Melissa and Margaret, Tammy, Linda. Hi, everybody. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Vicki. Arlene, John, Ethel, Anne. Hi, everyone. So good to see you on here. Awesome. Well, we are at the top of the hour officially, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. My name is Patty Bennett. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and we are using a Stampin' Up paper today. It's a patterned paper, but it's just, let me show you, the whole sheet looks like this when you get it out of the Abigail Rose package. So it's black and vanilla, like my mind wants to say black and white, but it's black and vanilla, and I decided it needed color, so we are honoring our Watercolor Month, National Watercoloring Month, I think they're calling it, and we are playing with watercolors. So today we are going to do watercolor pencils. Remember last week we did some watercoloring on pumpkins and gnomes. We did some just watercolor with the water painter and ink, but today we are using the pencils as our color medium. And just a little earlier when I was getting set up, my husband walked by. He's working, or he has today off. Every other Friday he's home off. Sometimes he works at home, but he was asking, so what do these pencils do? They just kind of, you're coloring with them, but what do they do? And so I showed him a little demonstration, and I'm going to show you that real quick. So this is what I showed him. So I said, you can take the watercolor pencil, and you can just color. This is just basic white cardstock. So you could just color. You could simply color in any image that you wanted to. Okay. But then what I like to do is I have a mug over here of water right here. And this is a water painter. You can put water in the barrel. There is a little dribble left in there, but I am not using it today where I squeeze it and use that water. I am only dipping my tip in water and getting the tip wet. So you can use your water painter, and do you see how I'm just see how that color just kind of melts? Isn't it beautiful? But if you use even more water, you can kind of pull that color out and it actually becomes more like a watercoloring medium. So you can achieve a bolder or a medium or a very loose watercolor effect with these pencils. And what I'm doing, and I showed him this as well, with these flowers, and you'll see this in a minute, I am sort of just going with the where they have it shaded. So let's pretend like that's sort of a bud shape. And I am just simply pulling the color up like this into the shape of the bud or the flower. I am not going over and over and over it to the point of it just completely melting into the paper. Kind of think of it as like melting butter in a frying pan. It's sort of that feel when you are making it just melt into the paper. So that's just sort of an overview of how I am making this work with color. And so I wanted to show you that I used all different colors. We have 2 different sets of pencils. We have collection 1 and collection 2. This is a mix. I just have them all in a cup together. I don't keep them separated. So I'm sorry, I can't tell you exactly which color comes in which pack, but I can pull out my catalog and show you. Let me just find the page. It's on page 126. We've looked at these before, so I'm sorry if this is a review for you. But assortment 1 and assortment 2. Assortment 1 is larger and is $16. Assortment 2 is a little bit smaller and is $12.50. I've said before, if you can only afford one, go with selection 1, assortment 1. But really for another $12.50, I don't feel like that's a huge, huge investment. I say just get them all. The main reason is because you get Granny Apple Green, and we're going to use that a lot, and I absolutely love Granny Apple Green. So anyway, that's that. And then the Aqua Painter, the Water Painter, you flip over a couple pages, page 129. Here's the set of water painters, and I am using the medium one. You can use whichever tip that you like. So that's where you find it. And if you need supplies, if you need catalogs, pattystamps.com is where you will find my blog, and you can order from me. pattystamps.com/shop will get you to my store. So that is how you would find my supplies if you need that, if you need a demonstrator. So if you were logging in the beginning, you saw that I just laid down a little bit of the daffodil color, and then I just wanted to show you, actually I think I'll use the pumpkin pie. When this dries, you could go back in. I've got pumpkin pie here, and I'm just going to add a little bit of color, and you can see the amount of depth that that brings to this image. Isn't that beautiful? And very easy. I'm just, wherever they have those little lines, that's where I'm adding the color. I'm not trying to be some super amazing artist and guess at shadows or anything. I'm only putting it where they put the shadows. So then it went from just a yellow image to an image that has a little extra color. Now you can totally leave it like that, or with a fairly dry tip on your brush, you can just soften that and pull that outward just a little, just so it doesn't look like you colored on it. It looks more like watercolor. But what I'm not doing is saturating this and just making the whole thing wet. So that's just the basics of it. And let's do one more. Let's do this one, and we'll use some different colors. I don't know if you can see, do you see all these little scribble marks? When I was kind of testing the color to see what they all look like, I'm just scribbling there because I'm going to cut these out to use them on an image. So it's okay if I scribble some color. And I just sort of want to see which ones are going to look nice together. So actually, like all of those would. So razzleberry, flamingo, melon mambo, and gorgeous grape. Like all of those, right, would look kind of pretty. But let's do razzleberry and grape, and let's do sort of a purplish one here. Oh, thank you. Tammy just added the link in the comments there to go to my store. You are so sweet, Tammy. Thank you. So let's just do this image. And I'm only adding that color where the artist already put those lines. So on this one, you'll notice the color is concentrated towards the center. On this one, they've got those lines out towards the outside of the petals. So we'll do kind of the opposite. We'll pull the color inward on this one. So that was Rich Razzleberry. And we will just, with a fairly dry brush. I don't want it super wet. I just want enough to just sort of melt that color like I was saying in the beginning. Do you see that? How it's just sort of kind of taking away the pencil marks, but you still get some of that light and dark. Just pulling that inward in towards the center. Tiny bit more water. And normally I would turn this paper because I don't like moving my wrist around like that, but I don't want to make you all seasick by moving this paper around. So I'm trying to move my wrist. And then we are just going to add some, this is Gorgeous Grape. So now I'm going to put a few little extra bits of color here. And that's a fun thing about these watercolor pencils, is that you can really make your own color by blending more than one color. So I have heard people say, well, gosh, we need all 40 colors. And of course, that would be lovely, but you don't need them because you can blend these colors together. So we went from having a rich razzleberry flower now to having one that is a mix of razzleberry and grape. And then I am going to darken these two areas where the petal kind of flips over. There's just those two spots. And I do have a paper towel folded up here. That's what I'm dabbing my water painter on. And it does take a little practice. This is something where you want to practice with how much water, how much color, how much blending do I want to do, and just take a little section, like cut out one little section of this and just play, or stamp an image in Stays On ink and play with it and color, and then you'll get a feel for how much color do I want to put on this image and how much water. You can never go wrong with a little less water first and then add a little more water. If you oversaturate it, then there's not much you can do. I mean, you can blot it, but it's just really never quite the same if you completely saturate it. So here I have mixed garden green and granny apple green to give me sort of a different shade of green. So I'll show you if I were, let's see, actually you can see it right here. So this right here was only granny apple green, and this is adding some of the garden green to it. So let me do this one and I'll show you again. So I'm scribbling in where they have those dark lines, some granny apple green, and then down the middle of the vein and just sort of closer to the center, I'm adding that garden green. And then when you pull that color out towards the tip of the leaf, it just blends right together. It's like magic. It's so pretty. I love it. I'm going to pause just a moment and look for questions, and then I am going to show you some other samples I was working on. Let's see. Oh, hello, Patricia from Switzerland. So glad you're here. Do the pencils come in a set with the brush pen? No. So I was sorry, you might have tuned in after I showed that. So here are the water painters, page 129, set of 3. And then if you flip backwards a couple of pages, page 126, you have the 2 sets of watercolor pencils that are available. So it does not come all together. That's a separate purchase. Thank you, Lisa. She said she loves this form of coloring. So sweet of you. Hi, Tanya. Oh my goodness, Kathy is casting me to her TV. So am I like really big on your TV? That's kind of amazing. That's fun to hear. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying this. Thank you. Good. Tammy said she's already learned some tips. Good. I am glad. Let's see. How well does the DSP? So good question, Mary. This is holding up perfectly fabulous. It's not even bleeding through to the back, and it's wonderful. I was wondering the same thing as well. That's a great question. Yeah, it holds up great. Let's see. Yes, Shan, I had the ones from the blue tin as well. Hi, Holly. Welcome. Thanks, Nell. Hi, Jean. Let's see. Can you zoom in? You know what? I'm afraid to do that. I'm afraid if it's going to, I don't know what it's going to do. Let me hold it up closer. Does that help to show you that? Oh, good. I am so glad that the tips are helpful. Yes, my goal is that you are getting some value from these technique videos that I share with you, the watercoloring videos that we're doing a series of especially, and I hope that you will like and comment and subscribe and, you know, all those good things, So this paper, Abigail Rose, this is a sample of the one that we're working on right now, but I wanted to flip through and just show you some of the other patterns that you could watercolor on. You can actually watercolor on the darker paper as well. This one would be great to color, and I'm going to show you what I did with this one because I was playing right before I went live, and I also played with this one, so I'm going to show you that one as well. So those are the patterns in Abigail Rose. This, if you have perfectly penciled, would also be another one that you might want to experiment with. It has several patterns that you could try watercoloring. This one would be gorgeous. And this one has a white background rather than vanilla. So let me show you. This one is more like, you've heard the term no-line watercoloring, because there's a huge difference between a black outline and this sort of a crumb cake or Sahara sand. I am not very good at no-line watercoloring. It is a completely different technique. You have to be really good at darks and lights and the contrast. And I just don't feel like I quite have that down to perfection yet. It's okay. I mean, this is pretty. I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to use it on something, but I truly like this better. I like the black outline. I don't know. What do you think? You can see the difference, right? The lighter one is just a totally different look. Oh, Pat, these samplers, Mel from Mel's Inky Fingers makes these, and she has the colors on the back, and then she has the catalog and how many designs. I bought these from her, and I have, look, I'll show you. Look how fun. I have them all in here. They are fabulous. So if you Google Mel's Inky Fingers, or I know Tammy and I don't know if Marcy's on here. I think I saw Marcy on here. If you want to include her link to her blog, that'd be fabulous if you would like to share that. But yeah, she sells these and I bought them from her. They're a fabulous reference. So that was that. And then look at this other pattern that I was working on. Aren't those tulips fun with the watercolor pencils? These are a super easy image to start with. If you want to just start playing with watercoloring, I would suggest this rather than starting with a larger, more intimidating image, but I love how those turned out. I think it completely changes this pattern, don't you? Doesn't it just brings it to life. Yes, Jean, I agree. I like the darker as well. I really like the dark image, the dark lines, I should say. Thanks, Marcy. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, Marcy, you're sweet. She says the no line is good. Well, it was frustrating me. It's not as easy for me, but thank you. That's super sweet of you. So let me show you. I made this card by cutting out one of these images. I tried my best to almost copy that one, and I cut it out with paper snips, and I added it to a card, and I thought that I would sort of bring out the purples in those little violet flowers with the Orchid Oasis. And then this is that split card texture die where it splits the card, right? It does half of the card in a die cut and half not. So I thought that turned out really pretty. And I thought we would go ahead and fussy cut one of these. And I actually couldn't decide when I made this one. I prepped these two card bases and I really wanted to play with an image on one of these. So I thought maybe I would do that. And I also, look how pretty this is. This is that, oh shoot, I meant to look at what that's called. Is it Pretty Flowers embossing folder? And then I die cut it with the scalloped, and I thought that turned out pretty. And I thought maybe that might make a nice background. I'm not sure. I don't know. So we'll see. So I'm going to fussy cut this one down here. So first I'm going to trim it out of here. I almost hate to cut up this sheet because I was kind of thinking, wouldn't it be beautiful to frame this whole sheet? Oh, but I did it. It's cut. So I'll just have to frame a different one. And I don't know that I'm very good at fussy cutting and reading comments at the same time. However, I'm going to glance over here. And if you have questions about the watercolor pencils or about this technique that I was showing you, I would like to answer them. So let me just check. Let's see. Yeah, dark lines. Okay. Let's see. So you should only use watercolor pencils, not alcohol inks. Oh no, you can use your Stampin' Blends on this. Is that what you mean on these? Oh yeah, I've colored on these with Stampin' Blends. You can totally do that. It will bleed through to the other side, but that really isn't a problem because you're not going to use the other side, right? You're only going to use the front side. The reason I'm showing you this today with the watercolor pencils is because this is July Worldwide Watercoloring Month. And I didn't even know it was a thing, but Stampin' Up! Did let us know, the demonstrator base, they let us know in one of our weekly updates that July is Worldwide Watercolor Month. And they encouraged us to use different watercolor mediums and to share with our customers, share tips. And so I thought, well, challenge accepted. So I decided to do a couple of different watercoloring videos for you. And I hope you enjoyed the tips. You can give me a thumbs up if you learned something. And drop a comment real quick if you have a question. Husband is sneaking down the stairs. So this was at the edge of the paper right here, you can see. So I'm going to put that along the edge of the card so that it doesn't look funny. It'll just look like we planned it. All right. So now we have our beautiful fussy cut image. Let me just put it here so you can see. Isn't it stunning? I think it turned out gorgeous. Let's see. Can you use Stampin' Write pens? You can, Karen, but Stampin' Write markers do not blend well at all. I mean, they just soak into the paper, and I never color with Stampin' Write markers. I always use my Stampin' Blends. Oh, we're watercoloring with watercolor pencils. Who was that? Susan just asked what we're doing. Yeah, you'll have to watch the replay. Oh, thanks, Wendy. She says she always gives me a thumbs up. Oh, Patty says I'm good at fussy cutting. You know what? I absolutely love, love, love to fussy cut. And so it's very just sort of soothing to me. I just love it. I love it. So what I thought, let's see, I put some extra pieces in here to kind of play around. So this was the, I think it's called Pretty Flowers embossing folder, and that's what I do with it. Oh, here. That's what I used the scallop contour die on, and I thought it was really pretty cut out as a scallop. So I just thought, you know, ideas, you just have to play, right? You have to move things around and see what works. And so I kind of thought maybe something like this, or being that we have this beautiful yellow image right there, maybe we could do something like that. Let me see. I'm just trying to, I don't want the yellow to be, oh, that looks like it's upside down. Yeah, it kind of needs to go that way. I kind of like it on the green. I don't know. Do you have a preference? Are you thinking yellow or green? I don't like how that looks like it's upside down. I think it needs to go this direction. And then we would add a greeting. Maybe, let's see, where is that little die? It's like my current, here it is. This is like my current favorite die right now. I think this is such a pretty one. Maybe add something like that. Oh, I don't like that. Never mind. I thought I would like it. Maybe a little decal. A little stamp on a little decal. I don't know. I don't know. Let's decide yellow or green first. Let's see. Green, 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 green. Oh my goodness. Everybody likes the green. I think we should just put the yellow away. Okay. So there we go. So we decided on green. And then, do you like this piece on here? Or there's also, I think that kind of covers up too much of the lattice. I really want more of the lattice to show, but I do have a smaller one. Maybe we just stamp the greeting like right on that. Kind of like that. Yeah, that's too big. So the bigger one, oh, kind of like the small one. I don't know. What does everybody else say? Maybe just stamp the greeting right there and just leave it really clean and simple. Okay, sentiment on a scallop. Let's see. Yeah, no, it does not. Oh, so, okay, wait. There might have been some other questions here. So are you asking about these blender pens? You can use those, but yes, they do tend to pill the paper more than the water does. So maybe you were asking about that. I thought you were asking about Stampin' Blends versus actual Stampin' Write markers that are water-based. These are alcohol, and so maybe I was confused. I'm sorry about that. Oh, the bigger one with the greeting, the smaller one, the smaller one, the smaller one, smaller one. Try it without the white. So just put that, and then maybe a greeting. What if we turned it? What if we did? Oh, I don't like that on there. No, I like the vertical. Let's see. Well, what does everybody else say? Smaller, 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 smaller. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not squeezing this. I'm not using the water in there. I'm only using the water in the tip. If you watch the replay, you'll see all of that. Let's see. Oh, okay. I answered them all. All right. A banner greeting. let's see, a banner greeting. So maybe like this one. I think that's too little. I have a bigger one. Oh, I also have this. I love this. I love this one. That little scallopy. Or a bigger banner. I don't know. I don't like that one. I really like the scallop behind there. And a greeting on just on there and just leave it. I kind of think the extra takes away from the flower. I don't know. I don't know. That's just sort of my feeling. We have lots of options, certainly. Let's see. Long and skinny across the flower. Oh, across the flower. I can't bear it. I can't bear it. Is this one any skinnier? I can't do it. I can't cover it. I'm sorry. Smaller scallops turn sideways. Like this. That works. That works. That works. Let's see. Let's see. Marcy says, my eye goes to the lattice instead of the flowers without the white. Oh, I see what you mean. Right. So I get it. This brings out the flowers more, I think is what you're saying, Marcy. And I agree with that. I agree. Yeah, Susan, I agree. I'm not going to cover it. Can't cover it. Scallop without banner. Okay. Scallop turned sideways. Scallop behind. Long, skinny across. Oh my goodness. We have so many fabulous ideas. Okay, so I think people are kind of liking this across that way. Do I have a smaller... I don't have a smaller one die cut. Let me just for fun. I want to show you something. We're doing this in Tammy and I are doing a class tomorrow for our Love to Stamp group. And we are actually using this die and we are cutting that off to make a different shape. So I was just kind of wondering if that is any better than the scallop. It's kind of a different look, isn't it? I don't know. Let's see. Does anybody like that better than the scallop? I like the size of that better. It's a different look. It's a little more clean. Oh, yes, yes. Okay, yes, yes. Oh, yes, yes. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I'm seeing all the yeses and the hearts. Give me a thumbs up or a heart if you like this one. We got like a pile of business going on over here, don't we? Yeah, the geometric, I think I like that too. Well, you know what, friends? Let's do that. And here's a tip. Always, always, always stamp this first. If you're putting a greeting on here, stamp it first, because the last thing you want to do is get this all glued down and you stamp it and something goes awry. Oh my goodness. That's like the end. Trouble city, right? Now, I should have had a greeting picked out. And I don't. Anybody have... These are really pretty. I was just using these the other day. Is that too fancy? Maybe one of these. Kind of think, I don't know. I kind of think, let's try it. The semi-boldness. It's not really bold, but it's sort of bold. Which one did I like? Hang on. Happy birthday. I think it's this. No, that's just thinking of you. Please hold. Here we go. And we can have a little lesson on mounting our rubber stamps. So our red rubber stamps come with this little backing piece. You have to peel that off. And I know a lot of people don't put the stickers on. I personally love my stickers. So I peel both halves off at the same time. You can peel half off at a time and sneak it under there and pull the other half off. I just pull it off. Now, sorry, I have to stand up and look straight down. And then you stick it on and you peel it up, and now your sticker is on there. I love the stickers on here. Like I said, I know a lot of people don't use the stickers, but I do. And then here's a tip. I've shared this before. Take a little piece of washi tape. Sorry, I'm just looking for the end. Here it is. Okay, just take a little piece of washi tape, and you just need to cover the tiniest little tip. And then you trim it, and I'll tell you why. So now, see, it's just tiny. See, there's that teeny tiny little piece of washi tape there. But then when you have your stamp on a block, especially if you have it on a block for a while, because sometimes I'm sitting here stamping a long time. These stickers now are so sticky that sometimes they stick to the block and you can barely peel them off. What that little piece of washi does is it gives you that little tiny spot to put your fingernail or whatever under there, and it peels right up. This is just the best tip ever. All right, now back to stamping. Now what color? Oh dear. We could go safe and go parakeet party. We could go wild and go melon mambo. Oh, look how pretty that would be. We could do a purple or orchid oasis. I'm kind of thinking melon mambo. I don't know. What do you think? Grape, gorgeous grape. Hang on, I have to kind of reach in front of the camera because my inks are in front of me. That tones it right down, right? This makes it, wow, that tones it right down. Okay, what else? Purple, grape. Yeah, y'all know me. I never reach for grape first, like ever. I never reach for purple. I have to be told by my friends, like Tammy, to use purple. And when I do, I'm always super happy. Yep, one of the parakeet. Okay, one of the flower colors. So we did use grape. Here's the fun part. I'm going to show you something. We can stamp it in grape, okay, right across here. If we don't like it, we turn it around and it's going to be hidden. What do you think? And another tip, now I haven't used this stamp before, so another tip, you always want to kind of prep and prime your stamps, which means you stamp them a few times, you clean it off on your chamois or your, what's the black fuzzy one called? The Stampin' whatever that thing's called. You know what I mean? And you want to do that a few times. And the more times you do it, the better image you get. The other thing I like to do is I just sort of like to look straight down, and I'm lining this up with my grid paper, and I like to see if it's straight, and it is. So I do need to know that I'm stamping straight. So we will stamp this. Beautiful. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh, I've got pink ink on me. Hang on. It's a good thing that got down there and not on the part that's going to show. Oh, I see why. Because I was watercoloring with this and I've got pink ink over there. So setting this aside, and I need to clean that. So if we put this here and this, so we need to kind of scoop scoocher that together a little bit. What do you think? I like the purple. I think Tammy was right. Grape. What do you think? Stampin' Scrub. Thank you. I couldn't think of that. What color is the bottom flower? This one was a combo of Melon Mambo. Did I do... Here, I can tell you. Yeah, Melon Mambo. And I think... No, I didn't do Razzleberry. I think this was only Melon Mambo. That's why I picked this pad, because I thought it would pull that color in. Yeah, it was just Melon Mambo. Let's see. Love the purple. Yes, it's gorgeous. Excellent. Love it. Love it. Okay. Fabulous. So I think we're going to put this down flat, and then we're going to pop this up on a foam sheet. So I'm just kind of eyeballing. It's about an inch or so down. Okay. So was it right about there? Give or take just a tiny bit. Okay. And then I actually have some extra strips left over. Normally I would cut like a big square, but I had these strips left over. And so we are just going to use up these strips of foam sheets for the back of this. That'll fit right there. I use foam sheets for a couple reasons. If you followed me long, you have heard me say this. But number one, I don't like picking at tons of dimensionals. Like this, that would have taken me probably 10 dimensionals right there. And I also like that it gives this a really firm, so when we peel that off and we stick it here, this is going to be really nice and firm, and it's not going to have little spots that dip. And then I will just finish off here with a couple of dimensionals on these extra little parts that are kind of hanging over. I just don't like picking at these with my fingers, so that's why I use an old, what did you call these things? Stampin' Pierce tool, I think they were called. And that's why I use these. I just don't like picking at all of that. And then we'll just peel this up. And remember, we had this part here that was at the bottom of the designer paper sheet. So that's why that's going down at the bottom. And look how gorgeous. What would make this even more beautiful is a wink of Stella on here. You can add any kind of gem, sequin, pearl, you know, any of those types of things you could add to this. But I really honestly love just sort of the simplicity and the beauty of that without adding anything additional. I may change my mind. I might add some wink of Stella. We'll see. But I think for now, I just really love the way these turned out. And I truly thank you for helping me think about this and plan out this green card. I love how it turned out. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm just going to check for any comments. Thank you, Melissa. Thanks, Sally. Thanks, Susan. Thank you, everybody. Oh, thank you, Jean, Lisa, everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, brass butterflies would be gorgeous, Holly. Yes. Yes, yes. Thank you, Wendy. What a kind comment. She says, I'm an inspiration. That is so kind. Thanks, John. So questions about the watercolor pencils, the technique I was kind of showing you, this page that we worked on. I could keep coloring a bit, but I think we've gone long enough. We've already gone 45 minutes. So if there aren't any questions, I'll let you go. But if you have questions, this is a great time to ask. So please go ahead and ask if you have questions. Thank you so much, Susan. Thanks, Betty. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, everybody. So sweet of you. Oh, I did want to give you a heads up. Oh, sharpening. Yes, let me talk about that. I do want to give you a heads up. The next couple of weeks, I will be on our Alaska crafting cruise that Kirsten and I are hosting. And I do not know for sure how the signal will be for a Facebook Live. But here's my plan. My plan is that I want to go live several times from our big crafting conference room. It's a beautiful room back of the ship, and we have 270 degrees of windows at the back of the ship. It's going to be amazing. I don't know if I'll get much crafting done. I'll be just like looking out the window. But I am going to go live, show you our projects, show you everything that we're doing, but I can't commit to a time. It's probably not going to be at this regular Friday time, but you'll just have to kind of watch my page here. I'll do my best if I can give you a little hint and say like, oh, the signal's good, I'm going to go live at 4 o'clock or whatever. But that's my goal. So don't be looking for my regular Friday lives for the next couple of weeks, but do just watch my page. I would love, yes, we are going August 3rd. Our cruise leaves. Well, no, I think we fly on the 3rd. I forget which day. But yeah, we're at the beginning of August, Kathy. All right. So somebody, I'm sorry, the comment already went by, asked about sharpening these pencils. Let me show you. This is what I have found to be the absolute best sharpener for these pencils. I'm not saying it's the best one in the world. It's the best for these pencils. By Prismacolor. This is what it looks like. And you flip open the lid and it has two holes that you can use. One of them shows kind of a fatter, wider point, and one of them shows a skinnier point. I personally like the wider. Do you see how this is kind of a wide, fat point as opposed to like this one comes more to a skinnier point? Okay, maybe it doesn't totally matter, but anyway, I like the fatter one. You just put it in there and you just twist, and this sharpens it beautifully, absolutely beautifully. It's not expensive. I didn't look before I went live. It's, I don't know, probably under $10 on Amazon, but Prismacolor pencil sharpener, and that's what it looks like. I love this one. I know Stampin' Up! Used to sell one, and for me, for my personal experience, it did not sharpen as well. So thank you. That was a great question. Let's see. Yes, Sherry, I'm so glad you're coming with us next year. Our 2023 crafting cruise in 14 months from now is already sold out. So we are taking a waiting list if anybody else is interested, but Kirsten and I are co-hosting that as well, and we are already full. So I am so glad that you got in on the list and that you're joining us, Sherry. That is going to be awesome. Oh, okay. Yes. Already waitlisted. So any other questions? Thank you. That was a good one about the sharpener. Any other questions I can answer for you? Hope everybody has a good weekend planned. I am doing a class tomorrow with Tammy for our team, our summer stamp camp, and then I am working on packing up and making tutorials for our Alaska crafting cruise. Yes, Sherry, I have too. It's been on my bucket list to see the East Coast with the fall colors. Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you. I don't see any other questions, so I am just thrilled that you all joined me today. I hope that you learned something. Oh, what die set is that label from? Well, I think it is Designer Tags. It's this big one right here. That flower is not part of it. I just have it nested there. So it's this one, Designer Tags. And as you saw, I snipped off those little tabs that have the holes for the ribbon. I love that label. I think it's fun because it's versatile that way. Good question. Thank you, Marcy. Yes, I am so excited for Stamp Camp tomorrow, Tammy. It's going to be so fun. How long have I been stamping? I started stamping in 1981, and back then, let me tell you what, I had a little stamp about this big. It had a teddy bear on it, and I would stamp the corner of my envelope, and I was rubber stamping. I had a rainbow pad. I never cleaned the stamp because I didn't know how, and that's what I did. But then I got more into techniques, and I learned about heat embossing and gold embossing powder. And so it's been a long time that I've been stamping. Long time. But I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 27 years. Thank you for asking. Thanks, Susan. Thanks, Mary. Yep, already sold out. Do the Cottage Rose dies cut out the DSP? Well, let's look. Oh, wait, this? Cottage Flowers? Am I thinking of the wrong thing? Wait, Abigail. We must be talking... Wait, what goes with Abigail Rose? This does. Yeah, but let me see. Well, I did a whole video on these dies. We did that. And wait, did we? Yeah, we did. We did a whole video because look, I can see back here in my pack that we die cut those. But I don't think that any of these, no, I don't think so. I'm just trying to like move it to where maybe, no, it's not going to cut out this sheet. It cuts out some of the other sheets though, and that I've done that in other videos. Marcy just has all the questions today, right? Let's see. Yeah, it's these dies, Marcy, but it goes with other sheets. So it's not for, it does cut out this. It cuts these out in the Cottage Rose set, but not that particular sheet of paper. Well, thank you all again. Have a fabulous weekend. I hope that you will try some kind of watercoloring. I hope that I've inspired you over these last 2 weeks with these videos, and I hope that you'll share with me if you have done some watercoloring, and I look forward to sharing with you from our ship, and that will be in the first week of August, like up until the 12th, I think, is when we fly home, I think. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I will talk to you all soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.